Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Bar. And the news coming from the center is a good news for Arsenal fans that they will not miss European football next season. Arsenal have defeated Chelsea 2-1. Both the goals from Aubameyang and that red card to Kovacic meant that Chelsea could never make a comeback in the game, and Arsenal had defeated Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Arsenal not only have the silverware, but also, like I said, they will also not miss the European football next season. And as far as the game from Chelsea's point of view was concerned, they missed on their silverware, but I don't think there was anything for Chelsea to lose in this game because Chelsea already had booked their spot in the UEFA Champions League for the next season. So pretty much only the silverware game for Chelsea and pretty much everything on the stake for Arsenal. They not only won the silverware, like I said, they also ensured they would play football in the European Cups next season. So if you could just talk about the game, your thoughts on the game. Also
Uh,
talk about Pulisic's goal as well.
First I'll talk about the game. I'll describe the game. The game was, the game plan which Arsenal had against City. It was a somewhat of similar game plan because as we saw in the Man City game, Arsenal Man City game, Arsenal were on the back foot for first 10-15 minutes. They were just soaking the pressure. Right now also they were doing the same thing. Just one because of one mistake. Because lack of players behind the ball. Mason Mount was able to run behind the defense and was able to drag the ball onto the D, and that flick from Giroud, that was the best. That was one of the best assists I've seen. And cool and calm composure of Pulisic, to just chip the ball over the goalkeeper. Again, that was just superbly well executed. And after that first goal, Chelsea were still dominating. But after that drinks break, after 20 minutes, the drinks break. After the drinks break, Arsenal started to dominate the game. They started to attack the left flank. They started to, get those runs. Aubameyang started running behind the defense. Maitland-Niles started running to that channel again. So again, that the left flank was providing some, the disturbance for Chelsea. They were not comfortable defending on the left side, and that's where the first goal came from. They just over the top ball, long ball to Aubameyang who could run onto it, and Azpilicueta had no choice. Again, he's 36 years old, and Aubameyang, as you all know, he's very pacey. He has that speed. He was going to win this anywhere, anytime. And again, Azpilicueta decided to pull him down and consider a penalty. So again, and after the second half, also Chelsea started to dominate. The second goal of Arsenal was a bit of shock to me because I did not expected that coming from anywhere. It took 10 seconds for me to process what had actually happened because Chelsea were dominating for the 15 minutes. They were dominating. They were trying to get behind Arsenal. They were trying to make those runs, and again suddenly a goal from Arsenal. Again, that completely derailed the performance of Chelsea, and there was no way to come back after that red card.
Right, and yes, Aubameyang scored two goals, one from that penalty spot, and the other goal, like you said, even I was unable to process what had happened. And like you said, Chelsea was dominating. Anyway, if you could just explain these goals on that
Yes,
football
I will
app.
just start. I will just start explaining. I will just first draw Arsenal defenders. This 1, 2, 3 are Holding, David Luiz, and Tierney. This number four, we will take as Hector Bellerin, who was out of position, as I said earlier, who was just not there. So number five is Granit Xhaka. So Granit Xhaka, I will just mark him over here. So this number five is Granit Xhaka. So he had two positions to cover. First, he had to go over here, or he had to go over here. So he decided to stay on the flank, because Alonso was also playing. Alonso could have also gone there. So he decided to stay on the flank. So this may mean that this space was empty. This channel was empty, and Mason Mount decided to run through this channel and get into this. And again, it was a same simple pass from a Chelsea player. A simple pass, if you can see here, a simple pass over behind. And once Mason Mount was here, he had just two simple things to do. You just you'll either go for goal directly or just cut the ball. And again, he decided to cut the ball to the defense. And again, as I said, a lovely flick from Giroud and a great finish for Pulisic. So this was the first goal of Chelsea, as explained. So I will now go towards the second goal. In the second goal, if you could see the one main thing that I saw during the second goal was Reece James was in Arsenal's half. Reece James, the right wing back who was supposed to cover Aubameyang and Maitland, he was on the Arsenal half. And again, just a simple ball. So if we say Aspilicueta is here and Aubameyang is over here. So again, just as I said in the Manchester City game, Aubameyang likes to make those runs, and just a simple ball over here. And we all know who's gonna win this race between Aubameyang and Cesar Aspilicueta. It's always going to be Aubameyang. And just as he came to defense, just he was as Pickford was trying to catch him, just couldn't reach him as always. As I said, couldn't reach him. So he decided to took just took him down and consider penalty. And as a second goal, if I talk about Arsenal's second goal, it was just completely took 10 seconds, 50 seconds for me to process what has happened, because that was a pure counter-attacking goal, pure counter-attacking goal. Sebas won the ball in the midfield. Then Victor Milan bet that excellent run. He was just running towards Chelsea's goal, Chelsea defense, and that I think so. He jumped over. I don't remember who he jumped over, but that jump was again amazing. And I think so. It was not Alonso. Well, I think so. Christensen who crashed onto him, and that Christensen. So again, Christensen was also out, and they were just 2-on-2. Pepe decided to pass it to Aubameyang. And the main thing that I saw from Aubameyang is that he always scores from his right foot, but he showed here that he can score from his left foot. Rudiger was trying to cover, he was trying to stay on the right side of Aubameyang, because as you all know, Aubameyang like to show. I would have thought that Aubameyang would go inside, he would try to curl that ball, but no, he decided against it. He took the ball to his left side. Again, Rudiger was left seen nowhere after when he decided to take that ball on the left side and just tipped over the goalkeeper again. That was again a fine goal from Aubameyang, one of the best I've seen from him.
And just like any other football match, this fans always obviously they ask about talk about referees' decisions, and this time two decisions that could go either way. That's what I feel, and those were the Aubameyang's penalty and the Kovacic's red card. As far as Aubameyang's penalty is concerned, I believe that was an intelligent play. Everything just started to happen even before Aubameyang went into the box. Then he still ran with all those things with him. Like the player was snatching his t-shirt and all that. And when the moment he went into the box, he just set himself loose and he fell down. So that was an intelligent play. That's what I believe. And I feel it was a penalty. And he converted the penalty. And talking about Kovacic's red card, I believe it could go either way. What do you think of Kovacic's red card?
Kovacic's red card, I think so. It was a foul. Yes, it was a foul. Maybe it could have been a first yellow card, maybe a warning, first yellow card. But the last one, final warning and a red card. I don't think so. It was a red card in any shape. I know he was previously booked for a tackle, cynical tackle. He just for the first yellow card, he just ran on to Granit Xhaka's feet again. That I think so. Maybe the referee would have taken into account that previously I had given him many warnings, and still again he was trying to go for the tackling like that. Again, that was not a tackle, it was maybe due to intent he may have given the red card. But again, for that tackle, I don't think so. I don't think it was a red card. It was a foul. Yes, it was. It maybe could have been a first yellow card, but not a red card.
Definitely, the referee was being harsh on the players. So, any of these decisions could go either way. Also, maybe Kovacic's red card thing came late into the play. That's why he got a red card. Maybe that could have been the reason. Anyway, moving on towards.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Just as I said earlier, the way he tackled, for the first time, for the way he got the first yellow card, that was a serious tackle. That was a serious yellow card offense. So again, definitely would have thought that maybe I had given him previous warnings, and after that again he is going on to do something like that. So again, I thought that was the mindset of referee. Maybe that's why he had given that card.
Yeah, like you said, like I said, the referee was harsh on players. Anyway, moving on to the next topic, that is what this trophy means for Arsenal. Anyway, and yes, it's a big thing that Arsenal has won the FA Cup. Arsenal has previously won many FA Cups, but this one means more because Arsenal ensured their flight to European football next season. And if had they lost this game, they would have been out of European Cups after 25 long years. So as far as history is concerned, winning this game was very important, and that's what Arsenal did. And Arsenal are finally in European football again. They'll play European football again, even though it is UEFA Europa Cup. But they'll still be happy to have a place in a European football league. And as far as signings are concerned, they could attract more players as well. They can say that yes, we are playing European football this season, and you can definitely join our team. So thinking about that, so Arsenal can attract more new players as well in this transfer window. What do you think of this result for Arsenal?
If we talk about European League, that European football concept, again, it's a huge win. But if we look, at the start of the season, they were actually not playing well. Nobody decided, nobody put them down to win the FA Cup like the way they did. They defeated Sheffield United in the dying moments. Again, they defeated Manchester City, which was a brilliant game. I think one of the best Arsenal games this season. And again, they defeated their rivals, Chelsea, coming back from behind, winning those game from one down. So again, this is a huge victory for Arsenal. And if we talk about European football, you can also talk about the managers, the managers project. The players need convincing to join the club. You don't if you don't if you throw just money, they will not try to come. They want to see they are the players, their growth is possible or not, if they will get chance to play or not, whether the team is going on the right direction or not. So again, Arteta can say to those players that yes, we are going on the right track. See, we have won FA Cup, we have defeated Manchester City, we have defeated Liverpool, we have defeated Manchester United, we have defeated Chelsea, we have defeated our rivals. Okay, we are going on the right track. It's a slow process. Just trust the process and join us. You may be you may be more benefited than we are benefited from it. Okay, in that sense of play, it was a great victory for us.
Yeah, and also what does this victory mean for Aubameyang? Do you think he'll sign the contract again? Do you think he'll still remain with Arsenal? What do you think of Aubameyang? Because obviously a star player, and the way Arsenal are performing, all credit goes to him as well.
If we look at recent games, recent Arsenal victories against Manchester City, against Chelsea, or against Watford, all the game plan, is headed on the left flank, where Aubameyang plays, where Tierney plays, where Saka plays. All that planning, is done.
Yeah, I heard the commentator as well. I heard the commentator say that they are making the game plan around Aubameyang. So it was obvious that the game would be on the left flank.
So again, he's an important player. He's an important key player. But again, if we look from his perspective, not Arsenal's perspective, we look from his perspective. He's 31 years old. He's in his last years, last years of his career, last bright years of his career. And the next contract he might sign. Again, the last contract he might sign, that might be his last, big contract, big money contract. So again, he might look at that well. So okay, Arsenal, are going in that direction. They have a new manager, that Mikel Arteta, who is giving 100% to the players, demanding from them. But again, he might want that Champions League football, because we don't know when Arsenal will qualify for Champions League. And I think before retiring, he would like to have a crack at Champions League, and he has not win it. I don't think so. He can win it with Arsenal, but he would like to get the final crack of Champions League, final time playing for Champions League again. This contract is gonna be an important contract for him. I think so. He might be still he has 1 year left in the contract, and he might think maybe after 4-5 months, how the team head into the future, what they do in the next season, what they do for next season, what they bring in, what are they doing, in certain competition. Again, I think so. After looking into that matters, he might sign a contract late next year. But let's see. I think so. He might want a crack at Champions League. Money is not a problem, because Arsenal may splash money on him. But again, the Champions League matter, Champions League factor, that may come into play.
Yes, definitely. And I hope we've covered all the topics, and we discussed about Chelsea's goals. We've discussed about Arsenal's goal. We also discussed whether Aubameyang will stay or not. So I believe pretty much we've talked about everything. So that's what we have for you in this video. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll link our Instagrams below. You can ask questions to us as well. We'll be more than happy to answer them during our next Q&A video that we'll be doing soon. And as far as new videos are concerned, we'll be doing videos on Champions League games as well. So stay tuned, and make sure to hit the like.
This month is gonna be important, because we will be covering each and every Champions League game, because Champions League as well is a big thing. We'll be covering each and every game, and our next video is possibly round of 16. We'll be talking about round of 16 matches. So please subscribe to our channel and like, share our videos.
Peace out.